whispering shadows. In the heart of the dense, dark forest stood a place whispered about in hushed tones, a place where the trees seemed to whisper secrets, and shadows danced with unseen entities. It was known simply as the Haunted Grove. Despite the warnings and tales of terror that surrounded it, four adventurous friends Sam, Emma, Jack, and Lisa decided to test their courage and camp within its eerie confines. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, stretching shadows across the forest floor, the friends set up their campsite. They laughed and joked, their voices echoing through the trees, trying to dispel the unease that settled over them like a shroud. But as night fell and the forest grew quiet, a palpable sense of dread descended upon the group. They huddled around the crackling fire, casting wary glances into the surrounding darkness, each one secretly wondering if the stories of the forest were true. The fire crackled and spat, casting flickering shadows that seemed to twist and contort with a life of their own. The wind moaned through the trees, and strange, indistinct whispers seemed to float on the breeze. "Did you hear that?" Lisa whispered, her voice barely audible above the rustling leaves. "It's just the wind," Sam said, trying to sound brave, but the unease in his voice betrayed him. Emma shivered and wrapped her arms around herself. "I don't like this," she said, her voice trembling. "Maybe we should leave." Jake scoffed, trying to mask his own fear with bravado. "Come on, Em, don't be such a scaredy cat. We're perfectly safe here." But even as he spoke, a chill ran down his spine, and he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. They tried to push their fears aside, but as the night wore on, the forest seemed to close in around them, suffocating them with its oppressive presence. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness of the night, sending chills down their spines. They scrambled to their feet, their hearts pounding in their chests, and looked around frantically, searching for the source of the sound. "Where did it come from?" Emma cried, her voice rising in panic. But before anyone could respond, a figure emerged from the darkness, a twisted, shadowy form that seemed to flicker and shift with every passing moment. It was a ghostly apparition, its features obscured by darkness, its eyes burning with an otherworldly light. The friends stood frozen in terror as the ghostly figure drifted closer, its presence filling them with a bone-deep dread. "Who are you?" Sam managed to choke out, his voice barely above a whisper. But the ghost remained silent, its gaze fixed on them with an intensity that sent shivers down their spines. Without warning, it lunged forward, its spectral form passing through them like smoke. They stumbled backward, tripping over roots and branches. As they scrambled to escape, they ran blindly through the forest, their hearts pounding in their chests, the ghostly apparition hot on their heels. Branches clawed at their skin, and roots reached up to trip them, but still, they pressed on, driven by sheer terror. Finally, they burst into a small clearing, their breath coming in ragged gasps, their hearts hammering in their chests. They looked around wildly, searching for any sign of their pursuer, but the forest was eerily silent, as if holding its breath. "We have to get out of here," Lisa said, her voice trembling with fear. But before they could move, a voice echoed through the darkness, a soft, whispering voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Leave this place," it said, its words sending shivers down their spines. "Leave, or suffer the same fate as those who came before you." The friends exchanged horrified glances, their blood turning to ice in their veins. They knew then that they were not alone in the forest, that something malevolent lurked in the shadows, waiting to claim them. With a newfound sense of urgency, they stumbled to their feet and ran, as if their lives depended on it, their footsteps echoing through the forest like a drumbeat of doom. But as they ran, they could feel the presence of the ghostly figure lingering behind them, its cold breath on their necks, its eyes burning into their souls. They ran until their legs gave out beneath them, until their lungs burned with exertion, until they could run no more. And when they finally collapsed, exhausted and defeated, they knew that they would never escape the haunted grove, that they were doomed to wander its dark, twisting paths for all eternity. For in the heart of the forest, where the trees whisper secrets and shadows dance with unseen entities, there is no escape from the darkness that lurks within.